If applied in the correct manner, all forms of autotune and pitch correction can be a great asset to any music producer. And any music producer in Logic would know about pitch correction, which is the pitch correction software which is in Logic Pro X. It's very simple, but it does what it says on the tin. But if you are one of them producers who's only ever used Logic version of autotune and maybe you want to upgrade to a different type of pitch correction, maybe you've already been looking online and you have found Waves Real-Time Tune, and you want to know, is this actually an upgrade on the pitch correction software that Logic provides? Well, today's video is going to answer that question for you. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into Logic and compare these two pitch correction softwares together. So for today's video, I've made two separate tracks with the same vocal recording. It is a recording of my vocals and it is a Harry Styles cover. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't get demonetized. So just in case, hit that subscribe button. And we're going to be applying the pitch correction as best as we can and comparing the results together to see which software comes out on top. Now quickly, visually, we're going to look at both of them and compare them for their specs and the sort of settings that they have on them. Starting with Logic's own pitch correction software. Now this is a very simple layout. Apple love to keep all their VST plugins simple, and they've definitely done that with this pitch correction software as well. Starting off at the top here, you have the settings for the key. So what that means for setting the key is when you sing, what the auto tune's going to do, it is going to assign notes to any sort of key on that scale. So if you sing a note which is out of that scale, for example C major, it will then bump it to the nearest note which is in that key. And the good thing about this pitch correction software is you can actually even choose which notes that you want or which notes you want to auto-tune to just by selecting and deselecting notes, so you don't actually have to program in a key for the pitch correction software to work, which is very good to know. The next thing I want to point out is the virtual LED display on the bottom, which shows you how much is being corrected. And then the last setting I want to show you, which is going to be the main thing that you apply when using this pitch correction, is the response time. Now what the response time does, it basically allows you to set how fast the autotune triggers into action when you sing a note which is out of the key that you have set. So the slower the response time, the longer it's going to take for a note to be transposed into the right key that you've set, which means that sometimes you'll notice bum notes in song and anything. If it's right at the top, you won't even notice the pitch correction even working. But the other end, if you've got fast, basically you're going to get a T-pain effect. And if you don't know what a T-pain effect is, it is that robotic sound that a lot of rap artists and hip-hop artists have applied to their vocal. So basically you're going to sound like a robot. In fact, let's hear what that sounds like.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song.
Then of course it's now time to look at Waves Real-Time Tune. So this plugin on Waves website is going to set you off about 50 quid, I think. I bought this at £27 in a deal because they're always doing discount deals. But I'm going to leave the link in the description for you to check out this plugin. But as you can see, this has a lot more features and settings which the pitch correction doesn't have, which may be one of the first reasons why you may want to upgrade your autotune, because this is going to give you a lot more control. Now just to give you a quick tour of the Waves autotune, you've got the display here which shows you which note is being played. So if I sing a C is going to appear on here. You got the correction here, which is basically showing you how much it's going to correct each note that you sing. So if you have it on 0, it's not going to correct at all, and if you have it on 100, it's going to be the complete opposite of subtle. Next you go over to note transition, which is how fast the notes transition over to a set key that you set. So if you sing a note out of key, the faster the note transition, the quicker it's going to change that note into the key that you're meant to be singing in. And the longer it is, then you're not again going to notice the autotune working. It also means the slower you have it, you're going to hear a lot more of a slide between notes. If you sing a note that's out of key, for example, you will hear it sliding in, because there is a difference between the speed and the note transition, which I'm hopefully explaining for you right, because the speed is just how fast this pitch correction is working. So again, if you have it all the way, it's going to be giving you a T-pain effect, and if you have it as slow as possible, you're not going to hear it working, and somewhere in between is you're going to be hearing the autotune working, but maybe a little more subtle than you think. Another really cool feature that the Waves Real-Time Tuner has, it has the range, so you can set it to what sort of type of a singer you are. So basically I'm always between the tenor and the alto when it comes to my singing, so I'll always set it on one of the two depending on how high the song is. This gives Waves Real-Time Tune a lot of better understanding of your voice, and it can monitor a lot better and make them note transitions a lot more clean and effective. For example, in the pitch correction on Logic, if you sing a note which is really low, sometimes it won't distinguish two notes apart because it's just a very low on the octave scale. What we can do is you can go all the way down to bass, and by doing that, Waves Real-Time Tune knows what it's looking for and how to listen for the right notes to transition to. And again, at the bottom we have the scale input, which is the same on the pitch correction, which is C major for this. So I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to let these pitch correction softwares speak for themselves, starting with Logic's pitch correction, and let's see how it does. I'm going to mix it in.
Breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
Now we're going to use Waves real-time tune. Alright, here we go.
Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
Starting with my opinion on the pitch correction by Logic, I do think that it did a good job at some notes, but the limitations really started to come through. There was still a few notes which I think could have been corrected a bit more, but due to only having one control actually to adjust the autotune settings, the response, it's really frustrating that you can't change the settings halfway through unless you automate, which is a lot of effort and aggro to go through. But it did an okay job. It sounded clean enough. The transition between notes seemed okay. Again, that's something you can't control. As for the Waves real-time tune, again, it sounded a lot cleaner because you could control stuff like the note transition, the speed. Something I didn't mention in the description was the vibrato, where you can actually control the vibrato of someone's voice a lot more to again make it sound more clean and make it easier for the autotune to recognize notes so you don't get any wobbles in the autotune. And just adjusting them settings enabled me to get a lot more of a clean autotune mix of the vocal. So to conclude, I would say obviously that the Waves real-time tune is the better option, but the question you've got to ask yourself, do you want to spend 50 quid on upgrading your autotune? Is it something you need to do? I would say yes, it is, because that's something I did a couple years ago, and I'm telling you now that there's only been a couple of times that I've found myself opting for the pitch correction of Logic more than the Waves autotune, but that was for very specific reasons that I can't answer. But on the whole, the Waves real-time tune is a lot better in my opinion, and is the one I would go for if you want to spend that money, which again I'll leave the link in the description if you want to do that. But that was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit that subscribe button because this video may be demonetized as I was using a Harry Styles cover. But feel free to comment below any plugins that you want me to compare against in a future video. I'm always happy to take options on board. Other than that, guys, I will see you in the next video.